Bob's Breakfast.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
What have Harry Kane and Ant McPartlin got in common?
Go on.
They were both wasted taking corners. Bonzi's on the phone.
You were talking yesterday about Stormy Daniels and whether she's all real and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, who are you going to believe? The fake blonde with the big boobs or Stormy Daniels?
Get off!
This is Bob.
I'm Graham Mack. Latest news from Chris Hubbard.
They should have seen this coming, but the opening night of Titanic the Musical had to be abandoned. This was shortly after the ship hit the iceberg on stage, and they had to drop the safety curtain because plaster started crumbling from a back wall, onto the stage.
Wow.
Disaster hit in real life.
Wow, it could have been even worse. Maybe one of the fans of the movie, I mean, if the Titanic had actually collided with one of them, geez, that's when the ship would have really hit the fan.
Bob's Breakfast.
We're talking about stuck stories this morning. What's yours? John Paul.
I got a pea stuck up my nose when I was a child.
Did you? What happened? Why did you stick the pea up your nose?
I can't remember. I didn't want to eat anymore, and I stuck one up my nose.
Yeah.
And then my sister was trying to get it out, and she was using a safety pin. And I remember starting bleeding, and everyone was starting, and I was starting to get worried. And then someone made me laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And when I laughed, it come out.
I've had an amazing idea.
Right.
You know how there are certain things that wind me up?
Well, there's a few.
Yes. And there are also things that wind everybody up. Be good to put them down on paper in a list.
That's true, yeah.
Why stop there? Why not make it musical? Why not set the list to music?
I like the sound of this.
Okay, here's the idea. Billy Joel, We Didn't Start the Fire. He lists all these things. Harry Truman, Doris Day, Red China, Johnny Ray, right?
That's right, yeah.
All of those things are historic, and most of them are American. We could come up with something that's British and about right now.
And there's bound to be a big list as well.
Could you imagine how therapeutic that would be for me to sing that song?
Just get it out.
Just get it out! Just get it out there! I mean, I don't know what we'd have, but maybe Boris Johnson, Theresa May, Kim Jong-un, Corbyn, the Antiques Roadshow. I mean...
Smart
anything.
motorways.
Smart motorways.
Met Office.
The Met Office. Cyclists. Traffic wardens. I could attack everybody in 4 minutes. I could attack everything that I hate in 4 minutes. Isn't this a brilliant idea?
Would that rid you of all your anger?
No, never. No, it'd only make me worse. But wouldn't it be great?
It would be good therapy.
Yes. Double doors that you push and one's locked. I mean, just anything like that, or anything to do with politics, or fines, or, you know, Simon Cowell, or Bill Gates. You know, I mean, 4 minutes might not be long enough.
I think we might need to do an extended version.
We might well do. But if there's just some stuff that either you've heard me whining about train fares, or there's something that's getting up your nose.
Rude sales assistants.
Oh! You can start calling in with them, and we'll start putting this thing together. We'll start the construction of the greatest protest song ever written.
It's Bob.
Miscommunication. Joe.
I got a strange email, and I never discovered who sent it.
Yes.
It said, you slug-faced vash, you slug-faced vash. No, it said, you fat slug-faced vash.
Right.
You fat slug-faced vash, I hope you get stuck in a cabbage and eaten by a rabbit.
It's quite the insult, Joe.
Yes, and he just signed the Scarlet Pimpernel.
Really?
So, I never discovered who it was.
Did you email them back?
No, because I was a bit scared, a bit scared too. It seems.
Well, no one wants to get eaten by a rabbit now, do they? Yeah, I can sympathise, yeah. All right, hey, Joe, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Kev's on the phone.
It's about the funny stories about seeing things on roofs of cars.
What's the most bizarre thing you've seen on the road?
Well, I was going down into Sapple and I see this car and it looked like the roof was lifting up of the car. And as I got closer, there's 4 arms hanging out to each of the windows holding the bloody mattress of the car.
There was one arm out of each window holding the mattress on the roof of the
car. But the worst thing about it, it's starting to rain.
Oh, no.
As I got closer, I didn't realise it wasn't just one mattress, it was a single bed as well.
There's a single bed and a mattress, all on the roof of the car, all and not even tied on, just one arm out of each window holding it on.
Yeah.
Amazing. Kev?
It's crazy, absolutely crazy.
Gender bending. Yeah, have you been a gender bender when you found yourself wearing the clothes of the opposite sex? Pete's a gas fitter. How are you?
Morning, Graham. Yes, one of these situations where you've accidentally sort of put something on that you shouldn't be doing.
Mm-hmm.
I had cracked lips.
Yes.
So before going to work, I picked up the old lip seal, moistened the lips, one out to work, only to realise 3/4 through the day I've actually put lip shimmer on. I picked up my wife's like shimmer lipstick or lipstick seal or whatever it is they call it, and used that instead.
And you looked fabulous.
I'm sure I did, Graham. I'm sure I did, but I was wondering why I was raising a few eyebrows with people looking at me.
Thanks for sharing, Pete.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you. You moved to a new house somewhere...
Middle of nowhere.
Middle of nowhere, okay. That and you've been doing it up. And you've been sorting out a greenhouse as well.
So the next stage is to get some veg in there.
Okay.
My mum turned up with 21 tomato plants.
You're going to pee on them?
What?
You know, I know a little bit about everything. And the little bit I know about growing tomatoes is you got to pee on them.
I'm planting Gardener's Delight on this side. It's halfway between a cherry and a normal-sized tomato, but it's great. Eaten raw, it makes very good sauce, and it's a reliable tomato. Now, spacing is quite critical. So roughly 15 inches equidistant is all they need. At this time of year, a good soak once a week should be enough.
Bob's Breakfast.
That iconic guitar riff. When you think about all the great guitar riffs in Police songs, like From Every Breath You Take, Walking on the Moon, Do-Do-Do-Do, Da-Da-Da, Message in a Bottle, they're all great. And they're all from a bloke called Andy Summers. He was a guitar player in the Police. And earlier this week, I had a chat with him on the phone. He lives in Santa Monica in California. And he wrote a book in 2006. It was called One Train Later. And in 2012, it was turned into a movie called Can't Stand Losing You, Surviving the Police. It wasn't called One Train Later. So I asked him, why did they change the title?
Because they're wankers, that's why. They're corporate wankers, and they don't understand. I had a super hip title, One Train Later, great.
Yeah.
They turn it into that because they think it's commercial and it's going to bring more people in, because they don't know what they're talking about. So they undersell the project instead of, being true to it.
Yeah.
That's what you have to deal with, just bullshit. And I fought that, believe me.
Bob's Breakfast.
We were talking about skiving this morning. When you've shirked and got away with it, what have you managed to get away with? Bloke on the phone doesn't want to be named, wants to be anonymous.
That's probably wise.
Yeah, I think so. Because this happened, this is something you were up to on the night shift?
Yeah, years ago working at Luton Airport, I used to sneak out to a woman's house.
Who did? You did?
Yeah.
Right, okay. So, on the quiet, when you're supposed to be at work, you snuck off to someone's house. What for?
Maybe a cup of tea.
Cup of tea?
Yeah, a cup of tea, yes.
That's all it was, cup of tea.
Yeah, one night I was late back to work. So.
Oh, were you? Wow.
Yeah, I got a second cup. So.
Right. Okay. Right. Yeah. Right. And you never actually got sprung.
A couple of colleagues knew.
Oh, right. But you never got... No, but work never said anything that, So you're actually on the payroll and you're actually on the job.
On the job, yes.
Neighbour. Sarah.
I used to live in Stevenage.
Yeah.
So we've had some quite outrageous neighbours.
How do you mean outrageous?
Lots of being intimate, loudly.
Noisy.
Yeah.
Okay. And what?
Yeah, very, very noisy.
Oh, really? Now, indoors?
Indoors and outdoors.
Oh, wait a minute. Outdoors? Where?
Yeah. So we lived in Bedwell in Stevenage. And we just had some. I think they were young.
Yes.
In love, obviously.
Yes.
So they were just like that all the time, basically.
Oh my goodness! Indoors, outdoors, it made no difference.
Outdoors, to a point where we were having to, literally shout, "Will you just stop, please?"
Really?
Quite uncomfortable.
Nearly chucked a bucket of water over them.
And the gardens, because we live in a terrace.
Yes.
So it's not exactly. Should we say it's kind of on display?
Oh my goodness! And it was all going on the full Monty.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Oh dear, jeez. Well, wow.
Bob. Now, children these days have become used to having a digital assistant at their beck and call. You shout for Siri, you shout for Alexa. But according to a study, this generation is risking rudeness towards real humans because they've become used to barking orders with no consequences, according to this report. So figures show 42% of children aged between 9 and 16 use voice recognition gadgets at home. The most popular option is Siri. That is the most popular one.
But Siri's rubbish.
We've talked about this before.
Hey, Siri. See? Nothing.
No response.
Siri, not even talking to me. Why aren't you talking to me this morning?
Is that what you think?
Yes, I think you've decided to not talk to me this morning and I don't know why. Tell me why. Nothing.
No.
It's just rubbish.
She's giving you the silent treatment.
Hey, Siri. Are you giving me the silent treatment?
Sorry, Graham. I don't really know.
You don't know anything, do you? Are you giving me the silent treatment?
Who, me?
Yes, you, cloth ears.
Sorry, I can't manage clocks here. You can do it in the clock app.
I almost shouted something embarrassing in Asda yesterday.
Really?
As I walked in, there's a lady carrying some shopping and some clothes she'd bought. And she's in the queue at the checkout. And I'm walking past. And then the happy to help lady points out that there's an empty checkout at the other end of the checkout row. So this lady grabs her stuff and she runs for it. Just then, she drops one of the items of clothing. It's a pair of lacy panties.
Right. Were they tucked away under the rest of the shopping?
Must have been. They're on a little hanger.
Okay.
Anyway, so she's now off down the other end of the shop, and about halfway between me and her are these undies. And the happy to help lady saved me because she managed to attract the lady's attention and let her know what had happened. Because I swear, I'd just taken a deep breath and was about to shout, "Excuse me! Your knickers have fallen down!" Survey out this week says that kids are going on fewer school trips than they were a generation ago. Isn't that sad? School trips are just amazing. You usually come back with a story. What's your school trip story? Ben?
We went to Austria
Wow.
In secondary school first to go skiing.
Yeah.
And there was rooms of, I think they held about 5 or 6 people in each room.
Mm-hmm.
And we was all mucking about in one of the rooms, and we all sort of play fighting as you do. Someone's kicked a large bottle of Coke on the wall, and he's hit a pitcher and broke the pitcher.
Right.
Now, we're all panicking now. It's a really old, like, Austrian little fires in the corner, a really old building.
Oh, yeah.
So we sort of started panicking. So we got one person with, like, socks mopping up the Coke. Someone else doing nothing, and then there was 3 of us trying to stick this picture frame back together. So that involved all of us chewing packs and packs of Hubba Bubba. Remember that chewing gum?
Bubble gum, yeah. To stick.
And we stuck the whole frame back with Hubba Bubba. Hung it back on the thing, and we've never heard anything of this. We thought that was genius.
It really was the perfect crime.
It was. And we all got away with it. No, we were all told, no damage to the rooms.
You're all bonded, and there's the cone of silence. No one squeals on this.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so... And
snitches get stitches.
Snitches get stitches. Yeah. Oh, Ben, thank you very much.
All right, thank you, mate.
It's a great story you brought us earlier about the kid left behind.
Yeah, not very happy at all, I don't think. I think the kid was only about 14.
School trip to London from Newcastle upon Tyne. They head back on the train. He's not on the train, left behind at King's Cross.
Yeah.
Jeez, what's your left behind story? Karen?
My daughter got left behind.
Where?
In the hospital car park.
How old was she?
About 3-4 weeks old.
And who left her behind?
Her dad.
Tell me the story.
I had an appointment at the hospital.
Yes.
And I had got 2 girls at this time. One was 2, baby girl was, I say, 3-4 weeks old. Got to the hospital, so he dropped me and the eldest daughter off, and then went off to park.
Yeah.
And then when he got to the clinic we was in, he came round, sat down, nothing, didn't have the baby. We knew a couple of people that worked at the hospital. My instinct was, maybe she's been having a cuddle with someone.
Mm-hmm.
And then after, it seemed about a minute, I said, where's the baby? And he's like, yeah, I'll be back in a minute.
Oh, what an idiot.
And and the car was, because, the door was unlocked. She was, luckily enough, she was still in the car fast asleep.
Oh. Do you ever let him forget it?
Did I mention he's now my ex-husband?
How about that? Researchers in France say they've taught a whale to speak.
That is incredible.
The keeper talks to the whale and then the whale replies.
Okay.
Hello?
And they reckon this is talking. Can I hear that again?
Okay.
Hello?
It's just making a whale noise.
It's just making a whale noise.
Yeah.
Okay, so they go on a bit more.
Hello?
Yeah, I mean, it's got the tone.
It's not hello.
No, it's not. It's...
Hello?
That's not even close.
There's an owl in my back garden makes a noise like that.
You've got a talking owl.
Yeah. Need to get onto the papers.
Hello?
What was that? It's not even close to hello.
No.
That may be how English sounds to people who speak French and don't speak English.
Maybe this is what it is.
Hello?
Was that the whale?
That was the whale.
Possessed by something?
I say the whale is possessed. I say that's what you've got going on there.
That is just creepy. It's the stuff of horror movies. Imagine yourself walking down a dark corridor late at night, just a candle glimmering in the background, and suddenly you open a door to a cupboard and hear that noise.
Bob's breakfast.
So this obesity thing, primary school children.
This is the local government association. They've looked into these figures and they say the difference between 5-year-olds or thereabouts when they start school in reception class to when they leave at about 11-year-olds, they say that the weight just packs on.
Yeah. And are they allowed to say that? Because you have to be very careful when you talk about people who are overweight.
Yeah.
Because there's this whole thing of fat shaming and, you know, if you get into that. There is some very subtle fat shaming, though.
Mm-hmm.
You notice these figures are represented in one of the papers today in a pie chart.
A video has revealed a female holidaymaker shaving her legs in a packed public swimming pool.
I've seen it.
Isn't it gross?
It is gross. Oh, gosh. So this...
It was filmed in Florida.
Right.
And it's got her perched on the edge of the water, just happily shaving away.
Shaving her legs in a public swimming pool. And there are loads of people in the pool, mostly kids.
Yeah, mostly kids.
She's just happily shaving her legs.
People swimming past, seemingly oblivious to what's going on there, enjoying themselves. But meanwhile, she's there dipping a razor into the pool, cleaning it out, and then going for another shave of the legs as well.
Yeah. Oh. And the video's only very short, so I'm hoping she stopped at her legs.
Bob's Breakfast.
Badger.
It was about the, because you said you always fancied riding a luggage carousel.
Yeah, I think that might be a good fun.
Well, the only thing is they're really slow, aren't they?
Yeah.
It just reminded me of the days when I worked in Letchworth many years ago we used to call it It Can't Last, and it didn't, but it was ICL computers.
Right.
Yeah. And what they used to have, they had this metal roller bar system.
Right.
So they put boxes on, and computers used to go on this hexagon wooden pallet, and used to have like metal handles either side.
So it was like a conveyor belt kind of thing then? It would move things
just
along?
Just a roller system.
Yeah,
you dropped it on, and then it just rolled down. Right?
Yeah.
Well, some guys that I worked with started the ICL toboggan team, right? So what they used to do, they used to run through the stores holding on to this pallet by both handles. Then they used to leap onto the roller system right, and start firing down. You could get quite fast, yeah?
Right.
And
so it wasn't powered like a conveyor belt, it was rollers. You had to push stuff on it. You had to push yourself along.
Weight driven, like.
Well,
as soon as you got on it, you just kept moving.
Yeah, because it was downhill, yeah.
Yeah, downhill, gravity driven.
Yeah.
So and then while they were hacking down, we used to all sit there, just tapping on it and going ding, 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 oi, 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 as they were shot along. Yeah, I don't think the management was too happy, but
no, but that's just one of the fun things. It's one of the sidelines of work that you shouldn't be doing, but it makes the job more fun and it makes you go. And the bosses want to stop you doing that, but really, without that, you wouldn't bother going at all. You know what I'm saying?
It breaks the day up.
Yeah, it does, yeah. So it's back again, the Eurovision Song Contest.
Certainly is, yeah.
The most ridiculous idea for a competitive event. We're going to have a contest to see who can write and perform the best song.
Who takes it seriously?
Not the UK for the last 20-odd years. We used to be really good at it. I mean, we're still really good at coming out with bad songs, but we're just not good enough to compete with the Eurotrash, really. Yeah. Making Your Mind Up by Bucks Fizz was a terrible song. And if you want to see some more as they rip the skirts off, I mean...
That's what Cheryl Baker credits their win too.
Yes. But how... I mean, you couldn't get away with that now.
No.
I mean, they would not be allowed to show that now.
I wouldn't have thought so.
And whose favourite?
Oh, Israel.
Okay, now I don't know what Israel have got for us this time, but Israel have got form.
Have they?
1978.
Right.
Israel won the Eurovision Song Contest.
Did they?
Yes, I was a small child, but I remember saying to everybody, "Since when has Israel been in Europe?" And the song, not in English.
Okay.
It always sounded to me like I Want to Be a Polar Bear.
Oh, right.
It's on YouTube here.
Okay.
Even more. Nurit Hirsch, this is conducting the orchestra for the Israel entry, song number 18.
It's Terry Wogan.
The song is called
back in 1978.
Yeah.
Blimey.
And here come Alpha Beta.
Alpha Beta.
Simple, peasant smocks, cream trousers, the girls all in white. And this is a good, vivacious song for Israel. Might do very well.
This sounds like the radio commentary, actually, the way he's describing everything. Is it still on the radio, Eurovision?
I think so.
I wanna be a polar bear. I wanna be a... I wanna be a polar bear. I want to be a polar bear.
Yeah, it does sound like it.
Bob's Breakfast.
Well, we're not famed for our glorious weather. Plenty of tourists think our food is a bit rubbish as well, and quite a few people think our teeth are gross, quite frankly.
Yeah.
But there are some good bits to the country, you've got to admit. Although not everybody who visits this country kind of agrees with that and says they've enjoyed themselves. Disgruntled tourist reviews have been shared on Google Maps, the page for Great Britain. A lot of them pretty dismal. However, somebody did leave a positive review saying, better than average, but average as a nation.
Yeah, see, but they're missing the trick of what the great in Great Britain means. What does it mean for you? The great in Great Britain.
Oh, goodness, I've never even thought about this in the past. The great in Great Britain. I mean, beautiful places around the country.
Yeah, loads of places got beautiful places. Loads of countries got that.
I was going to say the people, but we're a bit of a mixed bunch, aren't we?
Yeah, yeah.
The great and great... Go on, enlighten me.
This is the greatest country on earth. Because nothing is your fault. Hey, fatso! You're not fat because you eat too much and don't exercise. You're fat because we haven't had a sugar tax. Because the government aren't paying for your gym membership. So go on, open wide and have another slice. Hey, choking smoker! You can barely make it up the stairs without wheezing. But it's not because you put the tobacco product in your mouth and lit it and sucked in the poisonous fumes. It's because the government didn't hide away the packets like they've done now in the supermarket between that flimsy wall and the shop assistant. It's because there weren't enough warnings about it, even though from birth you've known that smoking will probably kill you. It's not your fault! Hey, you, who hasn't sent any job applications off. You can't work because of all of the immigrants. It's got nothing to do with you. The immigrants are taking all the jobs. And if you're not making enough money from the handouts that we give you, it's because the immigrants are taking all the handouts as well. Yes, they are simultaneously taking all of the jobs and not working. Nothing is your fault. God bless the United Kingdom.
That was beautiful.
Well, what's going on in Scotland? They're not doing much to do anything about the reputation for the Scots and alcohol, are they?
Well, yeah, it's the first country to do this, isn't it? To bring in minimum pricing.
Minimum pricing for alcohol. Now, health campaigners are already asking for the rest of the UK to follow suit. We don't know if it'll work yet.
They're
just hang on a minute. Well, yeah. But has this been done anywhere else?
Well, no, it hasn't.
So they're just convinced it'll be... The whole idea of when you do research is you don't know what the result is going to be. That's why you do the research. Apart from certain radio stations, I've known radio stations that have wanted to make on-air changes and have done research, hoping the research will come back, backing up what they're about to do anyway.
Yes.
If the research doesn't do that, the research disappears. If the research does say that, well, then it justifies them doing what they want to do. Radio, I think, is the only industry where they do research hoping to get the result that they want, rather than just going, well, let's just do some research and find out, which is the way you should do research. And so they're dismissing this thing as it's not research, it's not an experiment. In Scotland, they're having minimum pricing for alcohol.
That's right, yeah.
They think it will reduce the problems with alcohol.
Yeah, some of the cheaper alcohol, they reckon it'll prevent some of the sales of that.
Right. They don't think it might just lead to more alcohol-related crime. Surely it'll mean more shoplifting and off licenses.
Because
if
people
booze
can't
is more
afford
expensive.
it.
Yeah. Because what this basically does is said, it's okay for you to be poor, but you're not allowed to have a drink. Because if you're well off and have a problem with alcohol, this is not going to affect you at all. In fact, couldn't somebody argue that if you've got a problem with alcohol, it just means that you're going to spend more on the booze and ruin your life a bit quicker? Because you've got a problem with alcohol.
Yeah.
Drugs are illegal. And there are people that get addicted to drugs and have issues with drugs, and it costs them everything. People get addicted to gambling, and it costs them everything. It costs them their life. The price of gambling is about the highest it can possibly be. You lose your house, you lose your family, you lose everything. The price of addiction, not just gambling, but drugs and alcohol, the price of addiction is as high as it can possibly be. You lose your entire life. They reckon putting, 20p on a can of lager is going to make any difference to that? The news this morning that in France, they're on about bringing in a law to make it illegal for blokes to wolf whistle at women. You have some concerns about this, Scott?
Now, I represent a movement called MFB, and that is Men Fight Back. Okay, well,
Scott,
if you're a man, if you're a man in a position of power, you really need to stick up for your own sex.
Okay.
And if you would, please.
Okay.
We're relying on people like you in the public eye. Now, I'm after something called equality.
Right.
And that's right across the board.
Yeah.
And a lot of women nowadays, I mean, back in the 90s, it's not a new thing. Women started going to watch dance troupes, all-male dance troupes called the Dream Boys.
Yeah.
Stuff like this.
And others, yeah.
Yeah. Now, you get just as many women, ravenous women, that will lech quite openly, and they get away with it because society deems it acceptable, over young guys in pubs and laughing at men's demise. Men are portrayed as buffoons on adverts and in television and in life in general. And this is where I believe quite strongly that the balance needs to be redressed. And if you want equality, girls, then you're going to have to meet us in the middle. Because if you don't, guess what? We're going to be in a demographic winter. The population's going to go down. We're not going to want you. You're going to get the weak guys, the guys that you can control, but this is what they want anyway. They want the guys that are going to give them all the resources and all the money, which is what it's all about.
So, Scott, you're saying that the women are, there's a campaign to actually degrade men and devalue them so that the women can have more power. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Okay.
And I should think that if any man hasn't noticed it, then he's had his head in the sand like an ostrich for the last few years.
So when people use the phrases like man flu, that's degrading to men?
Well,
is that all part of it?
Us being guys, we don't take exception of any silly little thing like man flu or anything like that.
Yeah.
We haven't got our head in the clouds. We're not trying to make a point.
Well, we wouldn't get away with describing something as woman flu, would we? That would be deemed as sexist. But man flu seems acceptable.
The word sexism seems to only exist when it benefits a woman.
Okay.
It's a shovel for her to dig with, basically. When you go to a bar in a pub or you go to a restaurant in any place up and down the country or indeed in the Western culture, you will see men paying 90% of the bills. Mm-hmm. That is a fact. I used to work in a restaurant and I saw it all the time. Now, if they want equality, then I'm all for it. I only accept a woman that is my peer and my equal. If she's not, she can hit the highway. Now, this is not a new thing.
Okay, well, we're running out of time here, Scott, but wolf whistling then, should it be allowed or not? Because in France, they're going to fine people for wolf whistling, fine men, I'm guessing, for wolf whistling.
Well, as I've said, it goes on with women too. Women, you know, they do it as much as men. If they want to be pseudo men, then they're going to have to tough up and they're going to have to be like us. If they don't like it, then they just have to swallow it, won't they? because the nature of a man is to notice a palatable woman. Now, secretly, if they're honest, I believe they actually like it. They want to be lusted after. They spend 45 minutes in front of the mirror every morning.
Okay, well, let's find out. If you are a lady, do you want to be wolf whistled? Do you enjoy being wolf whistled? Has Scott got a point here? You built one of these Ikea wardrobes, didn't you?
Yeah, quite a few of them, actually.
Have you really?
Yeah.
The wardrobe is we've made like tables and cabinets and stuff in the past from Ikea, and that's the thing with Ikea. They're like drug dealers. They start you off on the soft stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, we started off bedside cabinets.
Bedside cabinets, that kind of thing, coffee tables, whatever.
Stool.
Yeah. And then they know when you're completely hooked, that's when they get you in on the real hard stuff. The self-assembly wardrobe.
Oh, yeah.
And as you know, we're moving to this new tiny flat, much smaller than the one we're in now. The one we're in now is small, 2-bedroom flat, but there's other ones even smaller. And so we've had to throw a lot of stuff out, and storage is a main issue.
Well, this is it. In that sort of place, you need to find somewhere to tidy everything away where you can't see it and it doesn't look cluttered.
That's right, exactly. Because you only have to leave, your mobile phone out and the place looks cluttered. It's that small.
Right.
So we got this idea of getting these, they're called PAX, P-A-X.
Yeah, we bought one of them.
Yeah.
At the last place.
Yeah, and this thing went floor to ceiling in the bedroom. And thought this will be great because it'll go right to the ceiling. There's no waste of space. There's no space on top of the wardrobe.
Yep.
You can't put like suitcases or whatever you normally put on top of wardrobes that make them look untidy. It goes right to the top and doors shut. You can't put all the suitcases. You just shut the doors on them.
Yeah. Pretty much you might have an inch left over at the top and you can't even see the dust on top.
An inch left over on the top.
Normally the way.
So we ordered this thing. And there was so much of it, it had to be delivered. You couldn't even get it in the car because it's floor to ceiling. It's big.
They're heavy things as well.
Yeah, and there's baskets and all kinds of things, drawers to make, and it's a big job. So we had this thing delivered. So Friday night we went round there because we've got the new flat now, but we're still in the rental that we're in now. So we've basically got 2 flats on the go until beginning of next month. So. We had it all delivered. We went down. That was going to be our Friday night. Not much of a Friday night, but, you know.
Many a Friday night I've spent decorating recently.
Well, your new place, you know all about it. So we get it all out of the packet, and then we go through all the hundreds of bits that come with it. Check that this. So we're supposed to have 16 of these, 4 of those round things, 5 of those, 1 of these plastic things. These angle iron pieces.
120 pieces of dowel.
Yeah. And these pieces, no, that's not them. See, these have got a flat head. They've got a more roundy head. That's them there. That's it. So we get them all laid out, count them all out. They're all there. Get all the pieces, make sure all the other pieces are there, unpack everything. Right. First job, I'll get that, the destructions out. First job. Screw these things into here. No, it's not that way. See, it's got a groove on that side. So it's not that side. It's the other side. There's 3 holes back in, right? It's that hole there that goes in there. Screw that in. Screw that in there. Tap these bits of dowel in these end bits. Push them in and then tap them in with the screwdriver because they don't push in. Go through all this. So we've now got, I think we've got 4 of these big panels with like screws and bits of angle iron on them and dowel sticking out of them and all the rest of it.
Yeah, preparation's key.
Yes. All right. So I said, well, for the next bit, we need to stand this piece up to get this next bit in by the looks of things on here. So we're a couple of hours in now. So I go to stand it up. Won't stand up.
What, is the ceiling not high enough?
Well, you could put it that way, or you could say that the panel's too long.
Oh, no. But surely you measured it, didn't you?
It was measured.
Yeah.
Have to say, not by me.
Right.
in fact, using that phrase, I'm already in a lot of trouble now. There was the minimum of an eye roll at my house just now.
I almost heard it.
Yeah, it was audible. It was an audible eye roll. Julie had measured the...
You're in so much trouble.
I know. Julie had measured the floor-to-ceiling height before they'd put the carpet in.
Oh. I guess you've got underlay under there, haven't you? So that, what?
It's a good inch. It's got to be a good inch shy. Because Julie said there should have been 10 mil clearance, a centimetre clearance at the top, between the top and the ceiling. Now, who knows? Because it wouldn't fit.
Oh, no. So what are you going to do?
Well, I rang Ikea and said, look, this has happened.
Yeah.
We measured it up, didn't allow for the carpeting. It's too big. We need the shorter one. And, you don't order just a wardrobe. I think there were, 12 different things you order each, because it's pick and mix.
Yeah, yeah.
So I had to order all of the other things and then say, look, can you come round and pick up? So we've got to pack up. Last night, we were packing up.
What, everything you put together?
Yeah, taking it to bits, putting it together, and taking these ripped cardboard sheets and taping them together.
Because you're not careful when you do. You just got to rip them open and you think, you'll go.
It's a good job. I reckon if it had been in our current place, I would have thrown the bits out. I would have, let's get these out of here. Let's give us some room to work.
Yeah.
But because the flat's empty, you're all right. You've got a bit of space. Really, I would have nearly threw. So we have to tape it, and that was last night taping up. But when I was on the phone to him, they said, well, if you tape it all up, we will collect it. I said, well, can you collect it on the same day as you delivered the other one, the one that we do? Yeah. So she goes through it, and it took ages because I had to order individual pieces with order numbers. They only work by numbers. I'm sure the lady on the phone had no idea what I was ordering, even though I'm on the website on the phone. I'm on the phone and I'm on the computer looking at the numbers and the pictures of the little drawers and all the rest of it. And so I must have been on the phone for half an hour, but it was half an hour of shame. The lady on the phone was lovely.
Yes.
But still I felt it.
You do feel like an idiot, don't you?
Well, I failed.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, she says, because you've gone for the shorter one now, you've saved £200.
Well, that's not bad, is it?
Expecting me to go, great.
Yeah.
And I just went, great.
Bob's Breakfast.
Lisa's on the phone. You want to chip in about this gender debate we're having this morning?
Oh, you know what? I would be lying if I said, and I think a lot of women share this view, I would love to be wolf whistled. Why not?
Right.
Put a little spring in my step. And actually, if I'm totally honest with you, I've been known to give a few wolf whistles out myself when I'm out with the girls, to
right then.
Any gorgeous builders or whatever. And
well, in France, they're on about making it against the law to wolf whistle in public.
Oh, that's just nuts. I'm sorry. I mean, I would find it a huge compliment if somebody was to wolf whistle me. I'd smile. I'd say thank you very much.
So Scott, who belongs to an organisation, Men Fight Back, you agree with him that this is just going too far now?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Lisa, thank you very much.
Goodbye, Graham. I wolf whistle here as well.
Okay, there we go. All right, good job we're not on the radio in France. All right, okay, thank you very much, Lisa. Good morning, Vince. What do you got?
I was listening to your stories earlier in the week about, the mistext and...
miscommunication stories,
yeah. Absolutely. And I went a little bit different to that. I didn't do a text. It was a phone call.
Yeah.
I was doing a job for a lady, window and doors installation for her, and everything was in and going well, and I give her a phone call and got through to the answer phone. Mm-hmm. And I said to her, Mrs. Jones, been just about your windows and your doors, and Jim will be around on Saturday to fit them, and if there's any problems, just give me a ring. Okay, thank you very much. I love you. put the phone down, and I suddenly turned around to my mate and I went, did I just say what I thought I said? He went, yeah, you did. I went, which is what I always say to my wife when we finish a conversation.
Just a reflex action. Yeah.
Absolutely. And anyway, I had to go over there that Saturday night, and I'm thinking, oh, bless her, she was around maybe a little bit older than me, but she didn't say anything, bless her. She didn't, she was very pleasant, a very pleasant lady. Anyway, she paid me, and she paid me in cash.
Right.
And I got back to the office, and now whether this is a coincidence or not, I will never know. I'm counting out the money, and right in the centre was her photograph.
That's no coincidence, Vince. You were in there, my friend.
It frightened the life out of me. I thought, what am I going to do?
So what did you do?
I didn't, well, to be honest, I just tore it up and put it in the bin. I thought, tell their wife, and I'm happily married.
Bob's Breakfast.
I went back to school yesterday, you know.
Did you?
Yeah, I went to a really good school. I went to Pear Tree Spring Primary School in Stevenage. You been there? They're good kids.
I have spoken to them in the past, actually.
Have you? What did you speak
for
to
a
them about?
news interview. It was one of their chefs has been voted Regional Chef of the Year.
Wow.
School Chef of the Year.
Wow.
So the children there have got some really decent school grow-up as well.
They've got their own radio station.
Have they?
Yeah. Oh, no. It was really... They showed me it yesterday. I was invited... Jacqueline Massey. Oh, I've given away the teacher's first name there.
Oh, I'll never do that.
No. Anyway. You know when we were at Maplin?
Yeah.
When we had the grand opening of the new Maplin? She came to see me and she told me about the kids in the radio station and she invited me to go down there. So I went down there yesterday. Had some really good fun. Met some good kids. Lily Rose, Moona, Kelsey, Mia, Gaia, Ruby, Connor, Scarlett, Kareem, Chloe. You were all great. And they interviewed me on their radio station.
How did that go?
I think it went okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't know if I'm a great guest, but it went okay. And we got talking. And I should mention Oliver, who was one of the people who interviewed me.
Yeah.
And we got talking about Lego. And Oliver made a startling observation about Lego.
Right.
He said he was in Toys R Us, and there's a sign that says, I think it was Toys, it was a big toy shop, and there was a sign that says Lego for age 9 to 99. And he said, why can't people who are 100 play Lego?
That's true. Exactly.
Good point.
Can you imagine a 100-year-old reaching their birthday, they've got some gift vouchers, they want to go and spend, and somebody turns around at the toy shop and says, no, sorry, you can't do it.
Not so fast, Grandad.
Yeah. Get out.
Put that back. Is it discrimination?
I guess it would be.
Well, because, I don't know, is it discrimination for the under 9s, or is that a safety thing?
That's probably a safety thing, isn't it?
And for the over 9, maybe it's the same thing, maybe it's a choking hazard at both ends, I don't know. I just hope it's not discrimination. But Oliver, well done, that was a superb observation. Thanks for inviting me to your radio station, to Pear Tree Spring Primary School yesterday. I had a lot of fun.
It's breakfast on Bob.
What can I do for you this morning, Jill?
Graham, I just wanted to know, in a couple of minutes' time, Alfie is 14 today. I was just wondering, because he listens to you every morning, you can just say happy birthday for me.
Oh, now let's see. I could sing Alfie a birthday song.
I think you should, Graham.
So what do I need to know about Alfie?
He goes to Marriott School in Stevenage.
Yeah.
And he's got loads and loads of snakes and dragons and loads of different reptiles, tortoises and etc.
Okay, then let me see if we could have a bit of... Today is Alfie's birthday, and Alfie's pretty cool. Today is Alfie's birthday. He goes to Marriott School. Oh, and he loves his reptiles. Happy birthday to you. You're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 today! Yes, we're going to a party. Yes, we're going to a party. Yes, we're going to a party, yeah. don't wolf whistle in France. It's illegal there. In fact, they've just increased the fines for it. What do you reckon about this then, Sam?
I reckon it's a load of tish.
Right.
Sorry, I know that sounds really quite blunt, but it is. I mean, wolf whistling has been around for years and years and years. Nobody's ever complained before now. And it's a few, it's like a minuscule amount of people that don't like it. But you get wolf whistled at, whether you're male or female, and in general, it's quite appreciated. You know, if you get wolf whistled, there must be something right with you.
So do you think this law is being brought in by people who've never been wolf whistled then?
I don't know. I mean, you get some people that just want to complain about everything.
Yeah.
But quite frankly, I mean, if somebody wolf whistled me now, it'd be the first time in about 25 years, and I'd be over the moon.
I'm Graham Mack. Thanks for listening to the podcast. If you like it, put a link to it on Twitter or a like on Facebook. And subscribe at Apple Podcasts. Talking about wild weather, because we had that beast from the east storm, and you know, it's a shame that we don't always recognise an omen until a long time afterwards. I'm saying this because I survived a channel crossing from Jersey. It was awful. This was when I did the breakfast show on a radio station in Bournemouth. We did a promotion with Condor Ferries, and they flew us over to Jersey from Southampton. We did the breakfast show from a hotel the next morning, and we came back on the Condor Ferry, which was a jet cat. And it was a rough crossing. This jet cat was big, though. I mean, there's cars and trucks loaded on with a few hundred people, and it was fast. And I think it was the speed of it that made it even more uncomfortable, because nearly everyone was seasick. Yeah, it was terrifying. I remember looking at this little girl. She's about 8 years old. I turned away to look at something else for a second, and when I turned back, it looked like she'd exploded. She was just covered in sick. Yeah. You know, I think she'd thrown up while we were on the top of a wave, and the boat had dropped, and so the spew was suspended in mid-air for a second, and then it started to obey Newton's first law of motion when gravity kicked in and it landed on top of her. Yeah. I should have known it wasn't going to be a pleasant crossing, though, because of the omen I saw the day before. You see, Condor Ferries had a marketing campaign with the slogan about this jet cat called "I Love My Cat." Only the word love was the picture of a heart, like the old "I Love New York" thing. And the day before, in St Helier, a car had gone past us with a Condor Ferries bumper sticker on and the slogan, "I heart my cat." But someone had coloured in the heart with black marker pen, so it looked more like a spade than a heart. So in effect it said, "I spade my cat." I thought it was funny at the time, but now I realise what was going on. Because on board that vomit comet, a lot of us nearly had kittens.
Bob's Breakfast.
I was talking about people who were in famous bands. And in particular, Andy Summers, the guitar player from The Police. I mean, they were the #1 band in the world at one time. I've got Andy on the phone from his home in Santa Monica, California. Andy, do you still get bothered when you go out in public?
Well, it's all context, you know, it's context.
Yeah.
You know, if you appear in some sort of, you know, situation where people are they're more tuned to that, then you're going to get, you know, people come up to you and approach you.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. You know, I can go to the supermarket and just go in and out. No, I don't get bothered. I mean, sometimes you get stuff like that, but most of the time I can live a fairly normal life.
Do they ask for the dreaded selfie?
Oh, yeah. It's the one thing I really hate.
Do you pose for them?
No, sometimes I do. A lot of the time I don't like it because, you know, like particularly with this thing I do in Brazil, you know, it's like, you know, lines around the bloody block. And in the old days, somebody would monitor it. You would sign an autograph, bye, thank you, very quick, 1, 2, 3. Now they want to stand there. They're trying to get their camera to work. They all want a selfie, and each person takes 5 minutes. It's like, Christ. So you don't have a lot of alternatives except to leave immediately and not meet anybody, or you're going to be there for 3 hours. I mean, it's gotten sort of difficult.
Yeah. I chatted to John Cleese. I went to meet him in Chelsea in his office, and we had a chat there for the show. And he will not pose for a selfie. He wouldn't even pose for one with me. Yeah. So there is. He's just got zero tolerance. Could you see it getting to that level?
Yeah, really. I mean, because but I mean, the same thing. You don't want to be like this horrible guy. You just played from. They paid to come and see you, and they, especially in foreign countries, they expect it. I think you have to set it up. Like no selfies. Somebody has to be out front saying no photographs. You sign autographs. Give us your autograph book or whatever, or the photo or whatever you want to sign, or the record. But no, we're not doing selfies. Because it's just, I mean, literally, there's 2 reasons. It takes too long.
Yeah.
You'll be there all night trying to get through the line. And 2, they're always horrible. So, if you have any vanity about your image, you look like in a selfie, and then they can put it on the internet.
Because it's so close and it's wide angle and...
it's horrifying.
Andy, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Yes, great talking to you, Graham. Thank you very much. All best.
Joe.
Morning, Graham. Quick one, nicknames.
Yes.
I used to be in the fire brigade, and lots of nicknames in there. Everybody knows that. And we used to have a guy, he was known as Snoz.
Snoz?
Snoz, for all the reasons you would expect, but everybody knew him as Snoz.
Right.
And so...
Because he had a big nose.
Indeed. He was roaming all over his face, all the usuals, yeah. But I only ever knew him as Snoz, and frankly, for the first 2 years, I didn't even think to ask what his first name was.
Right.
And this is so long ago now, we didn't have mobile, so we used to have a phone on the station, and wives and people would phone into the station if they wanted to speak to their loved ones. One night the phone rings, a lady asked for Nicholas, and I said, I'm very sorry, but we don't have a Nicholas on our watch. Put the phone down, genuinely, and it was his wife.
It was his missus. Thought, where's he been going all these years, for all these hours?
I had no idea. He's still today, 32 years on, known as Snoz.
You've probably seen the devastating images of war-torn Syria on the TV, but a Welwyn Garden City woman is set to experience the troubles firsthand, flying out to Beirut today before taking a 4-hour road journey to the Syrian border. Sylvia Mashej is a member of the Focolari community in Welwyn Garden City, a movement which aims to build a more united world. That's the latest from the BOBfm newsroom. More at 6:30.
Thanks a lot, Chris. So that's it. England out of the World Cup. And this, it was exciting while the dream lasted.
Yeah.
And this is going to sound harsh, but when you boil it down, when you look at all the other problems in the world, it's just a game. And England will be back, and they'll play again, and one day they will win something big. And that's what you've got to remember. And just look at other things going on this planet, like that lady who's going to Beirut.
Yeah. She's on her way to Beirut, then Syria.
Yeah. People have got real problems. And the name of this community that she belongs to?
It's the Focolari community.
Coincidentally, that very same word is what a lot of people said when that Croatian winning goal went in last night. Why is this the greatest country on earth, Chris?
Because nothing is ever our fault.
Nothing is your fault, that's right. If you can't get a job, it's not your fault. It's because of all the immigrants. If you smoke, it's not your fault. It's not because you put the thing in your mouth and light it. It's because the NHS aren't doing enough to help you give up. If you're broke, it's not because you spend too much money. It's It's because there's too many adverts on TV making you buy things. It's all the adverts' fault. Nothing is your fault. And the biggest one of all, if you're fat. It's not because you eat too much and don't exercise. There must be 100 reasons now, Chris.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Ranging from adverts again. Adverts are usually
Tony the Tiger and the Milky Bar Kid were in the firing line yesterday.
I'm going to get onto that. If you're overweight, it's not because you eat too much and don't exercise. It's because fast food is too easy to get. It's because, your doctor is fat. Remember that one? That was my favourite one. You're fat because your doctor's fat. And adverts of different things, whatever. And the sugar tax came too late for you.
Yeah.
So future generations won't be fat. Right. Now we get on to why your kids are fat. And your kids are not... Remember, nothing is your fault. Nothing is your fault. Your kids are not fat because you feed them too much and drive them to school. That's not why they're fat. Don't be silly. That wouldn't make them fat. No, they're fat because of video games. They're fat because of fizzy drinks. They're fat because of 2-for-1 offers at the supermarket. They're not fat because you feed them too much and drive them to school and they don't get enough. It's got nothing to do with that. And now, another reason why your children are fat, as you pointed out, Chris, Tony the Tiger, the Milky Bar Kid, and the Honey Monster.
That's right.
These are the three people, these are the only reasons why your kid's fat. There's no other reason.
If there was an apocalypse today, they would be riding on horseback, wouldn't
Absolutely. They are the three horsemen of the obesity apocalypse. They are the Milky Bar Kid, who can already ride a horse.
Yeah, that's right.
Tony the Tiger, who could probably handle himself on a horse.
Yep.
The Honey Monster, I'm not so sure.
Bit cumbersome, maybe a shy horse.
Maybe you could get them to ride the Honey Monster. I don't know. But they're the reason why your kids are fat. And Jamie Oliver has waded into this.
Oh, has he?
Oh, yeah, he's waded in. This is from the Sky News website this morning. TV chef and campaigner Jamie Oliver told a committee, this is a cabinet committee, that cartoons and superheroes should not be used to, quote, peddle rubbish. Because we know that everything that Jamie Oliver peddles is far from rubbish. He's warned Theresa May to act now as the future of the NHS is at stake. So Jamie Oliver. Now, when I was a kid, I was a skinny kid. And I was a skinny kid for two important reasons. Those two important reasons: my mother was a terrible cook. Awful. Her idea of an evening meal would be brown chips that had been fried in chip fat that could be carbon dated because they never threw it away. It went in the cupboard, the pan went in the cupboard with the chip fat still in it, so that next time she wanted to make chips, she would take the pan out and use the same fat over and over and over again.
You know what? Same for me.
Yeah.
Over and over again.
It's a generational thing. This was how our mothers operated. The chips would gradually get browner and browner and browner. Terrible chips.
But those beautiful days when eventually the oil was changed.
Yeah.
Golden chips.
We changed the oil on our car more often than we changed the oil in that chip pan. We looked after our car's engine, a Chrysler Avenger, than we did the children's health. Anyway, so brown chips with cold corned beef that had originally been in a tin but was being served from in between two plates from inside the fridge. Now, two plates, the magical plates, they keep things fresh. I don't know how they do it. Tupperware took ages to get that burping thing going, but mothers use just two plates. So you'd have like these brown chips and then this freezing cold corned beef. To her, that was an evening meal. She was just an awful cook. And most of my friends had mothers who were awful cooks as well. Terrible. Most of them. Awful. So that was the one thing that kept me skinny. The other thing, the meals at school were inedible. We were served bullets. We were served frog spawn. We were served rubber, masquerading as food. So consequently, we didn't eat that much because it was horrible. So we were skinny. we walked to school, and at playtime, we ran round kicking anything. If we didn't have a ball, it'd be a stone. Or anything we could find. We just ran round. We just never stopped moving, and we didn't eat as much. We were all skinny.
Before PE, every single week, we had to run a kilometre around the field. Now, when you're younger, a kilometre's quite a long way.
Long way.
I heard the other day that the school stopped doing that because it was too far.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Okay. So, along comes Jamie Oliver, the bloke who's talking about Tony the Tiger and the Milky Bar Kid and the Honey Monster. Along comes Jamie Oliver with his cooking show. And he starts teaching mums how to cook tasty food. Then he doubles down. He releases DVDs and books on how to prepare tasty meals for children. He goes further than that. He improves school meals. And he's made the food that our children are eating edible and tasty. And now the kids are eating too much. And now all the kids are fat. This week we had statistics from primary schools.
We did, yes. Yeah.
Talk about your circumstantial evidence. They're saying from the time when a kid starts school to the time when a kid leaves school, their weight is increasing. It's out of control.
Yeah, yeah.
You got you can find that story there?
I'm just going to have a look for it now.
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
This was a story this week. A story not involving.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Analysis has found nearly twice as many children in England are severely obese by the time they finish primary school than when they start.
Yeah.
So they're saying more than 22,000 Year 6 pupils have a weight problem.
Yeah.
So these are the stats.
What's the difference? School meals. You don't have to be any kind of scientist to look at those figures and work out what's making the kids fat. They weren't fat before they went to school. By the end of primary school, they're all fat. It's the school meals, and that's because Jamie Oliver has banned turkey Twizzlers. Turkey Twizzlers, a very, very unhealthy thing to eat. But the thing was, they tasted so bad, the kids weren't eating them. So now they're being fed food they can actually eat. But it all gets back to my main point. Nothing is your fault. And like I said, if your kids are fat, it's not your fault. It's Jamie Oliver's fault! Gary, the Hertfordshire Constabulary Photographic Society are taking photographs today. Where are they doing their photography?
Broad Hall Way on the A602.
A602, Broad Hall Way, heading in which direction?
Going south.
Going south, okay. And how much are they charging for their photographs?
3 points for a little one.
Yes.
And 6 points for a big one.
Thank you very much, Gary.
106 BOBfm.
What's on your mind, Steve?
Well, I just wondered, you do this footballers, they make a fortune, don't they?
Yes, oh yeah.
Yeah, and you see the pundits, now on the television.
Yeah.
Why is it their clothes don't fit?
The pundits' clothes do seem a little tight, don't they?
They're always tight.
Yeah.
It's not just one of them, it's all of them.
Yeah. I don't know what that's all about. But good observation. What I want to know is, the pundits in Russia doing the World Cup.
Yeah.
And every time they show you the pundits, there's a different one there, or they're different pundits. It's not the same team. Yeah. They're not actually at the match. Are they? They're actually in like Red Square outside the Kremlin. And they're watching the game on TV. So why did we need to fly them to Moscow to watch the game on TV when they could have watched the game in London and saved all that money flying them out? And like, they've flown loads of, it's not like there's just a team of 3. Every time it doesn't matter if it's BBC or ITV, there's a whole new set of pundits.
Yeah, but you see, this is the BBC going, and they're going out there, they're not really going out there to watch television.
No.
They're going out there to receive their instructions from the Kremlin.
Oh, I see.
In world domination.
Right.
So get the message over the BBC.
Right. I now it all makes sense.
You need to keep up with these. This is what's going on.
And maybe the tightly fitting clothes have got something to do with that. Maybe the shirts and that and the trousers, they're being controlled by, and if they say the wrong thing, Putin turns a dial and the shirt tightens a bit more. You know, like how Darth Vader could like just squeeze with his hand and it choked the fellow without him touching him. That is what Putin's doing to the pundits.
Well, we know that when the buttons start flying, hitting the camera lens, won't we? So.
That's what's, well, as soon as a button pops off, you know someone's really said the wrong thing and Putin's turned that dial right up. We've worked it all out, Steve.
We have indeed.
Thank you very much. Doing the thinking for you on BOBfm.
We'll show those communists from the BBC.
Bob's Breakfast.
A camel beauty contest in Saudi Arabia has been rocked by scandal after 12 of them were disqualified because their owners had used Botox on them. Prize money for the Miss Camel competition runs into millions of pounds.
Thanks a lot, Chris. And good news for Katie Hopkins. She won second prize in that camel beauty contest. Oh no, he's back on the phone. Mark the Shark. This is a bloke who used to listen to me when I was on the radio in Birmingham. Now he stalks me online, listening to my every word on every radio station I'm on. And now and again he calls up. I think he believes that he's mission control for this show in some warped way. He's not quite right. He just exists in his dirty council flat on the outskirts of Birmingham, listening to this show and complaining to himself. Shark.
Frank Skinner, how are you?
What are you on about, Frank Skinner? What are you talking about?
You're sounding more like Frank Skinner as you're singing in a microphone in the studio. Oh, looking at your mate and buddy above you.
I don't sound a bit like Frank Skinner.
Big Ben, it's all going on.
Big
when
Ben?
you're looking on the website and you're looking at the DJ radio presenter, whatever.
What are you... Mark, you're making no sense this morning.
Rewind the track. I'm looking what you've been putting on the websites.
What, at bobfm.co.uk?
Yes! And at the end of the day, you started to sing in the studio making up stories about Mr. Trump.
Yeah, you mean my song, my protest song, I Didn't Start the Fire?
Protest song, is that what you want to call it?
I didn't start the fire, it's a protest song.
But as you're expressing yourself,
yes,
you're turning yourself into the look of Frank Skinner.
I don't look like Frank Skinner or sound like him.
Oh, you do! You're looking more and more like him. Look!
Shark, you're scaring me now. You're scaring me now.
Never lie.
Yeah. Right, okay.
You said, I remember you turning around saying, it's all smoke and mirrors, Shark.
It's all smoke and mirrors, Shark. It's all smoke and mirrors.
Start looking in the mirror.
All right, yeah.
Because I'm telling you now.
Yeah.
You're looking more like Frank Skinner.
All right, well, listen, Mush. I like what I see when I look in the mirror. I'm sure the same thing can't be said for you.
I'm looking at 4 pairs of Mack boots.
Yeah, all right. Oh, what are you on about? What are you on about? Boris Johnson, Budget Day, Brexit, Theresa May, Kim Jong-un, Corbyn, the Antiques Roadshow, Green Party, drug addiction, global warming, Eurovision, North Korea, South Korea, Gary Barlow. Cyclists, shotgun, sugar tax, Kardashians, Bake Off, CSI, Rupert Murdoch, price of Sky, Russians in a submarine, England's got an old queen, Barcelona, liberation, Catalonia, goodbye. I didn't start the fire, it was always burning since the world's been turning. I didn't start the fire. No, I didn't light it, but I tried to fight it. Simon Cowell, Microsoft, Bill Gates, petrol cost, Daily Mail, TV's in jail, Irish border block. .com, Bitcoin, traffic wardens, Macron, girly men, Westminster, fixing Big Ben's clock. Parking fine, Brill cream, City's got a winning team. Prosecco, Rocket Man, Donald Trump, Euroland, Barbie dolls, bank interest, train fares, bad breath, steeplechase, horse race, boat team, McBoatface. I didn't start the fire, it was always burning since the world's been turning. I didn't start the fire, No, I didn't light it, but I tried to fight it. Little shop, bum crack, scented candles and a rack. Fly tipping samurai, stealth taxis on the slide. Space station, shopping mall, David Beckham conference call, congestion charge, diesel cars, carbon dioxide. Shopping trolleys, dancing bears, lab monkeys, fun fairs, pubs turning gastro, government funds are quango, smokers, herbal tea, childhood obesity, double-deckers disco, Beatles song by Elbow. I didn't start the fire, it was always burning since the world's been turning. I didn't start the fire, no, I didn't light it, but I tried to fight it. Smart motorways, rat runs, IVF, gastric bands, villains, built-ins, power of persuasion. Saudi Arabia, political megalomania, raw fish, tax men, the Pope and the Vatican, the Wailing Wall, free-flight check, boob jobs on the NHS, railway, home and away. What else do I have to say? I didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the world's been turning. I didn't start the fire. No, I didn't light it, but I tried to fight it. I didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the world's been turning.
Bob's Breakfast.